Holy Spirit reveals the love of God. Personality is self-revealing. What the Holy Spirit does, we begin to see, helps us understand who the Holy Spirit is. What the Holy Spirit is about reveals the heart and motivation of the Spirit of God. In Matthew 3:16-17, we read the story of the baptism of Jesus. Let me read it for us. As soon as Jesus was baptized, he went up out of the water. And at that moment, heaven was opened. And he saw the Spirit of God descending like a dove and lighting on him. And a voice from heaven said, "This is my Son, whom I love. With him I am well pleased." Jesus receives in this moment this Trinitarian picture of Father, Son, and Spirit coming together in this moment of blessing and launching Jesus, really writing his business card into the world. We see in this picture a magnificent part that the Holy Spirit plays in conveying the love of God in and through Jesus into us and into the world. Jesus receives in this moment, before he has done any miracles or any ministry, as far as we know, these words of blessing from the Father. He first receives a word of profound identity, and the Spirit is looking on and resting on him in this moment. Profound identity in the words, "This is my Son." And then he receives a word of great affection, "Whom I love," and a word of deep affirmation, "With him I am well pleased." Again, we're looking at a moment where Jesus has not done anything yet to put below his name on his business card. But in this moment, Father, Son, and Spirit are coming together, and we begin to understand that Jesus is fully rooted and grounded in love as he moves into the world. Under his name, if you will, on his business card is simply Son. "This is my Son, beloved, and I am already pleased with him." So as Jesus experiences this designation as beloved and secured Son, we see that the Spirit does the same thing in our lives as sons and daughters of the living God. The same belovedness and awareness of our belovedness is the goal, so that we're not moving in this life trying to do things for God, trying to please God, making particular advances in areas of our own life or doing good works around us so that God looks at us and nods and smiles and says, "Okay, now that you're doing something useful, now that you're making some progress, now you can know and experience my love." No, the Spirit conveys the love of God to us. Romans 8:14-15 says, "For those who are led by the Spirit of God are the children of God. The Spirit you received does not make you slaves so that you live in fear again. Rather, the Spirit you received brought about your adoption to sonship. And by him we cry, Abba, Father." And then Romans 5:5 says, "And hope does not put us to shame because God's love has been poured out into our hearts by the Holy Spirit who has been given to us." A loved person who is aware of their belovedness, who is living from and into their deep belovedness, is a person who is almost impossible to stop in any area of life. They are already fulfilled. They are already satisfied. They are drawing, as Jesus said, on food that no one can see. They are sustained by the loving presence of God, indwelling them in the Spirit and moving in and through them by the Spirit in the world. The Holy Spirit reveals, conveys, imparts the love of God to our hearts. Could you embrace right now that regardless of who you have been, what you've done or left undone, that you are the beloved of your Father in heaven. Receive his identity for you as his child, his son, his daughter. Let that be the only thing that's seen on your spiritual business card, and remind yourself of it each morning. Receive his affection for you as his treasure. He not only loves you, the Spirit conveys to you that the Father likes you. The Father likes you, that you're one of his favorites. And he wants to convey to you that deep sense of care and affection that only the Spirit can convey. And his affirmation of you as one who he has called by name, and you are his, as Isaiah 43:1 reminds us. Live into your belovedness. That is one of the things that the Spirit of God does. It welcomes us into loving transformation. Those who know they are cared for by God can move with confidence and faith in the world, being delivered from myriad sins and areas of brokenness in our lives to become the love of God in the world.